Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are beginning to run out of destiny to manifest. There are still a few locations we can attack over here. We can take a bunch of Central America over here. Unfortunately, the United Mexican States, they are in the Allies faction if we go in here. So that's not really a great option. We can attack some locations like Cuba or Haiti or the Dominican Republic, but there's a lot of allied holdings in the Caribbean right now. The United States and Great Britain controls most of this out here, so there's only a few more locations that we can go after. And the question becomes, at what point do we pull the plug on this facade that we're not at war with the Allies? I think the answer to that lies in Africa. There's a lot of land over here that we can leverage against the United States if we can take substantial portions of Africa from the Axis. Now, the Axis is kind of holding firm right now. But a lot of that has to do, I think, with getting supplies from Africa. If we can take Africa ourselves, then that will be huge. Now, of course, we're still working on attacking Peru over here, and the United States is as well, and we're not okay with that. We'd prefer that they didn't. Shenchi just capitulated. Japan is a concern. There's no doubt about that. And I'm hoping that the Allies turn their focus on that soon. They seem to be more concerned about the Axis right now, and that's probably because of their historical AI focus. But once we start taking bits of Africa, I think that will weaken the Axis enough that the Axis will fall to the Allies. And then hopefully, the Allies will go after the East Asian Greater... What is it called, the faction over here that they have? Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. That's what it's called. Fantastic. We should also be justifying against Costa Rica right now. There we go. So let's get that started. And, I mean, we're not really making huge gains over here. That's to be expected. How are we doing on our tanks right now? We're gaining 7.3 per day. That's good. That is very, very good. We're almost done with our Panamanian naval bases. Well, we're almost started on them, kinda. So, let's go ahead and let that run for a bit here. And of course, we're working on infrastructure. That is very, very important to us as well. I did also off camera change our navy over here over to convoy raiding. I'm actually also going to have them take up these two positions. There we go. Excellent. Do we have access through the Panama Canal? I don't know if we do. I have no idea if the US is granting us Panama Canal access or not. Armies can pass, navies can pass, submarines and trade can pass. Because we are currently friends with the United States. Okay, perfect. That is kind of ideal, actually. So we're going to continue making progress over here. There's only so much that they can throw against us. We can recruit a new operative, and I would love to do that. Infiltration effectiveness, control trade, boost ideology. What we really want here is none of these. We're going to go for this guy. That'll be fine. And he is going to work on rooting out resistance as well. Now, we're currently rooting out some resistance with this guy up here. So we want to root out some resistance probably down in this region. That'll do. Our manpower is quite low right now. So that's definitely something to think about. We barely have any non-core population eligible here, or rather available. That's definitely something to think about. We also need to grab ourselves fighter escorts. We'll go ahead and get that going ASAP. Fantastic. And I would love to do region-wide industrial integration, and so we shall. Where did that give us a slot? Actually, we have multiple over here. And I'm going to build civilian factories with that one. I'm going to build one civilian factory here and one military factory here. So the military factory and civilian factories like that. I'm actually going to cancel these air bases. They're mostly unimportant. Let's just get them out of the list. We've not been working on them. We didn't spend any resources on it. I do want to prioritize the infrastructure repair over here. Excellent. I'm also going to change our attack order here. And we're going to have our offensive line instead be basically this. Well, no. I actually changed my mind again. We're going to have it be instead this. No, that was the original. Really? Interesting. Okay, I did not expect that to be the case. So I guess we will have to frontline it. Get rid of that. There we go. I guess we will have to frontline it like... Or not frontline. Offensive line it like this. Okay, go ahead and execute that. Everyone should be assigned to this. Yeah, we're not going to have a border with the United States just yet. We're still friends with the US, and that's fine. We like this. We're going to grab convoy sailing here, I think. Destroyer sub detection and organization. Submarine surface detection. Actually, we'll go for this. That'll be fine. And once we get more troops up here, they have a lot of troops piled into these two locations, so we should, in theory, be much better off. We're also, I'm noticing, wanting to remove these and instead come on down here and do some convoy raiding in this vicinity so that they're not getting additional supplies in through their port. And let's wipe up the remnants of the Peruvians. Unfortunately, these allied holdings up here, there's not a lot we can do about that at this exact moment. We're doing surprisingly well logistically over here. I didn't expect that to be the case. Okay. We're definitely a little bit worried about our manpower levels. I think there's no doubt about that. To the point where we might want to think about bumping up to service by requirement. That would reduce some things that I would prefer not to reduce. We're going to go ahead and attack Costa Rica here. There we go. And these guys, they are, of course, just going to offensive line straight up like that. And in they go. We don't expect there to be, like, any resistance at all here, actually. Almost none. Is there going to be any resistance? Do they have an army? I'm not convinced that they have an army. They do have an army. And it's over. Okay, that was a lot of infantry equipment 1 and 2. Sure. So, we're now going to have these guys set up their front line here. And we're going to be attacking Nicaragua next. Their offensive line will be right up like that. And they're going to go ahead and receive those orders. Now we're short on steel a little bit here. And we're also short on chromium a little bit. There we go. Let's see if we need any infrastructure here. We do not. Let's see if we need any factories here. We do not. Okay, sounds good. That was very painless. Very, very painless indeed, especially compared to Peru, which is a little bit more painful. Strategic Bomber 3s have finished up. That is absolutely fantastic. These are all 2 years ahead of time. So I think we're just going to wait on that. We're already working on our air doctrine. We can work more on our naval doctrine. That's maybe not the worst idea. We're not short on rubber right now. And I doubt we ever will be. We could start working on some of this stuff. We have, like, nothing here. Okay. We're going to start working on that. Fantastic. We're also going to justify a war goal on Nicaragua, of course. Wonderful. What's going on here? Oh, is Peru capitulating here? I believe so. That's Costa Rica, actually. Well, that's awkward. So, we want to take all states and end our turn. And done. Okay, there we go. Costa Rica was annexed. We just finished researching nuclear reactors. That's wonderful. And we're next going to research nuclear bombs. Okay. So that's pretty great. Costa Rica's peace deal came a little later than I was expecting it to, but sure, that's fine. I just want to check. Yeah, this looks okay as far as the Coast Guard goes. At least for now. Peru is definitely losing supplies. Our tanks are not tremendously well equipped. This isn't shocking. Communist China just capitulated to Japan. Yikes. The Allies need to do something about this. We're not too interested in doing something about that, but hopefully the Allies do. We are, of course, not currently producing fighters. We're producing jet fighters. And we're going to switch our tactical bombers over to jet tactical bomber 1s. There we go. That'll do for now. Sounds great. We currently have a lot of infantry equipment that needs to be produced for upgrade purposes, but we have some lower quality infantry equipment that will be fine for now. Peru is getting close to falling here, or at least this province is. Their capital is still a ways away from falling, for sure. But these guys are getting close to retreat, and that is fantastic. I'm actually going to have this guy bump up to aggressively attacking. I want to wear them down. Our organization isn't going to be great, but that's fine. That is completely fine. And yeah, our manpower is down there. Not doing so hot. I decline. And I decline. Excellent. So we're going to need to begin planning to attack the Caribbean fairly soon. Unfortunately, all of this over here will be inaccessible to us, and holding this against the United States is going to be challenging, I suspect, when we end up fighting them. Oh, hello. Apparently the balance of power has changed here pretty dramatically. Are these guys in retreat? Yes, many of them are in retreat to the capital. That's great. We may be able to overrun some of them here. Maybe. Yunnan has capitulated to Japan. This is looking real grim over here. The US really needs to do something about it. Free France has this over here. The UK has this over here. The Allies will be brought into conflict over there, but they're just apparently super busy with the German Reich. Again, if we can invade Africa and cut off their supplies over here, I think that will cause the Axis to collapse. That's my theory, anyway. We just finished justifying on Nicaragua. And let's declare on them. In we go. Nicaragua should fall extremely quickly. We're going to start justifying on Honduras as well. That'll take 30 days. Honestly, we kind of expect that Nicaragua will fall in that 30 days. They barely have anything, so that'll be fine. Go away, Mexico. I do not want you walking through our territory. Peru's average supply levels are dropping, but we're definitely having a hard time pushing through those mountains. This isn't shocking, of course. This is about what we expected. So Nicaragua is about to fall. This was completely expected. And we will be in there quite soon. Honduras will fall shortly after, followed by El Salvador and Guatemala. I wish that I could figure out a way to increase our non-core population eligibility. That would be really nice. Okay, so there's Nicaragua under our control. These guys are, of course, going to form a front line up here. And then their offensive line is just going to be that. And they'll go ahead and execute that as soon as our justification is done. Canada wants to move things through our territory. We decline. So obviously our Coast Guard is stretched very, very thin. And we're going to need to do something about that at some point in the somewhat near future. But we're just going to make our way up here and prepare for the invasion of Nicaragua. Or rather, not Nicaragua. We just got that. Honduras. Fantastic. Peru is still holding us off in the mountains. That's not shocking. Not shocking at all. Air wings with no regions assigned. Why don't you guys help out over here? Come on over, buddies. Wonderful. There we go. We are losing a little bit of fuel right now. Now, I would like to check to see, yes, region-wide industrial integration. I want to build a nuclear reactor. Where can we build that? Over here. Fantastic. That becomes top priority. We only need a couple of nuclear reactors, but that one will do now. Oh, okay. They want to give us some equipment. We'll take it. That will be absolutely wonderful. And let's take a look at this airbase over here. I would like to bump this up to about 500 and this up to similarly about 500. Now these are all fighters, aren't they? Oh, these are close air support, actually. And these guys should be on air superiority up here. There we go. Wonderful. So we're chunking through our fuel right now. There's no doubt about that. Okay. That's a pretty far away airbase, but that's fine. Now, we still need to have our Navy out here because we're blockading this naval base. We don't want any supply throughput here. All we want is to keep this pressure up. How much do they have for manpower? They have less than we do, but our manpower is quite low. I'm going to bump this guy back off to balanced execution. Yeah, we're struggling to push in here right now. And that's, I suppose, expected, but unfortunate. Slightly, anyway. We'll just let our organization build up, and how are we doing on our heavy tanks? Or rather, our modern tanks. We're currently about 7.7k behind. We're losing 20.4 per day right now. Interesting. I mean, we knew that we'd be behind on modern tanks, right? That's why we're throwing so many factories at it. Those modern tanks are pretty important to us right now. We've got a big deficit. We are making 9.09 per day. It's going to come up a little bit as our production efficiency does, but not by a huge amount. Are we done justifying for Honduras yet? Not quite. 2 more days. That's fine. We're going to immediately start justifying on El Salvador as well. That'll take 85 days, apparently. Basic light battery finished up. That's fine. We're going to continue researching all of this stuff over here. Wonderful. And yeah, these guys, it's tough for them. It's definitely tough for them. We're going to also begin justifying on Guatemala. That'll be another 85 days. And that will be the last guys that we can conquer over here. So we're going to declare on Honduras. And in we go. Honduras will fall quite quickly. Most likely before we finish these justifications over here. Oof. China just capitulated to Japan. Reorganized government of China. Oof indeed. Okay, well, we'll assign those guys to our Coast Guard. There we go. They're at 71 out of 72. Okay. And we're just going to continue taking this up here. We're going to need to reorganize our defensive armies here pretty soon. We're probably going to create a new theater for that. Honduras has capitulated. Okay. So these guys are now going to form a front line on El Salvador. With their mission, of course, being that. That does mean that we require additional steel and additional chromium. And we accept that. This is our fate. This is absolutely our fate. Okay, so this is already maxed out on infrastructure. Canada canceled their Lend-Lease with us. We're not shocked. Not shocked in the slightest. Can we build any more factories up here? Yes, we can. And these civilian factories kind of become a higher priority than everything except the nuclear reactor. Okay. There we go. And of course, we're going to take all states in Honduras. Fantastic. Honduras was annexed. So we're definitely going to reorganize our defensive structure once we're finished conquering all of this mainland stuff that we can do. We've got a number of days left on our justification over here. And I mean, this is continuing to go pretty slowly. This isn't shocking. I'm going to actually disband both of these air wings. Like so. And we're going to add in new air wings. Jet fighter ones. And we're going to also add in, and we're going to have there be a total of 500 here. They're going to be attached to this army in air superiority mode. And then we're going to also add in a wing of jet tactical bombers. And they are also going to have about 500. Not that we have that many, but they are going to be in close air support mode, I think. And they are going to be attached to these guys. Perfect. With better air structures over here, we should be more capable of dealing with this. Now, I would like it if these fighters were able to do close air support mode. Unfortunately, they are not able to. Only the bombers can. But the fighters can guarantee that we don't have any issues over here. We're apparently currently losing over here. We have full air superiority. Okay. Fantastic. The Netherlands wants to move troops through our territory. We decline. How are they doing on factories over here? 75% of their military factories are damaged now. Surely they can't keep this up. Of course, our manpower is gone. That's definitely a concern. Absolutely a concern. These guys get assigned to the Coast Guard. There we go. And we are flat out of manpower. So we're going to need to boost that manpower number. Which I think means that we are basically required, at this point, to go up to service by requirement. That's tough. I really, really don't like sitting at service by requirement. The other option is we chill for a bit and let our manpower replenish. But I feel like we need to move quickly here. There's only a few more locations that we can take, right? This is... Britain controls the Bahamas, and the US controls Bermuda. So yeah, we attack Cuba, we attack Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Guatemala, El Salvador, finish off Peru, and then we are done with our conquest for now. We can, at that point, work on our manpower. We can work on this over here. That will all be fine. This is rough over here. I'm going to switch this guy over to cautiously executing battle plans to save on manpower. And then I'm going to change these guys over to strategic bombing, I think. Like that. Okay. Of course, this airbase is kind of overstocked at this point. That's definitely an issue. Fighter escorts have just finished up. And let's grab Flying Fortress for additional bomber defense. That'll be fine. So we're just going to cautiously execute over here. Question is, when is Peru going to give up? Their manpower is doing better than ours at this point. We can go back to actively attacking them a little bit later on. Look at how much El Salvador has. Wow. They've actually got a lot of military units. Fascinating. So, I mean, we're building up a deficit of manpower right now, right? And that's not a great thing. That's not a great thing at all. So we are going to have to bump up our recruitment. I don't like it, but I don't have to like it. I just have to do it. Actually, what's our focus on? We're on resistance suppression right now. And is there anything else we can do here? I mean, not really. Resistance suppression is pretty much our best bet. Okay, that's fine. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to attempt to break this stalemate in some way, and also attempt to address our manpower crisis, while simultaneously continuing to conquer these few remaining locations. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.